From crazy diamond veneers to dogs with braces, we got crazy videos and they just keep getting crazier. And guess what? It's Dr. Winners, aka the Bentist, back again for another video of the week with the craziest videos I found from out the internet and everything that you guys tagged me in saying, what the heck is going on here? So let's go ahead and start with one that I got tagged in the most, which was a girl who had a very unfortunate experience when she tried to open up her energy drink can. Let's see exactly what happened there. All right. Oh. You can't go directly with biting the teeth. Oh, please tell me. That's what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I tell you guys not to do because your teeth are not tools. Well, they kind of are. I mean, you use them as tools, but they're not meant to be biting, tearing, chewing everything out. They're meant to eat food, okay? And that's it. They're not meant to be opening cans with your teeth. And what you're seeing with this poor, unfortunate soul is she did exactly that. She got into that bad habit of tearing, biting, chewing things. And she said, you know what? I don't want to break these nails. These nails cost me $40, which I'm not sure they have little rhinestones on them. They could be worth a lot more than that. Girls, chime down below how much are her nails. But that being said, I would much rather break a nail than break a tooth like she did. So there's a couple things that she needs to do to make sure that she saves her teeth. So let's go ahead and get right into it. The first thing that she's gonna do is when she broke that tooth off, it went somewhere, okay? The first thing, if you break your tooth, you do anything crazy, you gotta find the tooth. Figure out where that little tooth bit is, because if you can find it and it's big enough like hers, that was a pretty big chip. Well, you can actually grab that, and the dentist can not only use it to glue back on there, but they can glue it back on there, they can make a mold, and then they can mold the exact shape of the tooth that you had before. So if you can find that tooth, keep it, put it in some milk or something, and wait until you can get to your dentist to get potentially it glued back on there. Now, the next thing you're gonna wanna do is take a look. Go ahead and lift up and take a look at the edge of the tooth, because your teeth is made of 3 layers. The outer enamel layer, which is the hard protective coating, the inner softer, yellower dentin layer, and then the middle is the pulp or the nerve of the tooth, which has the blood supply of the tooth. And so if you look up and you see that there's a little red dot peeking through, that means that you broke enough of your tooth off to go into the pulp of the tooth. And unfortunately, what that means is that you took a sterile environment, which was the pulp, and you introduced all the bacteria from your mouth and everything into that. And more than likely, if you see that, she's gonna need to get a root canal. Now, if she doesn't see any red there and it's just in there, she can just get a normal crown or a filling material or a veneer to fill that up and get it all fixed. But for the rest of her life, she's now gonna have to have a restoration there. It's gonna be different colors than her natural tooth if she whitens or darkens or anything like that. So it's basically a big mess. So next time you go taking a drink of your Alani or different whatever drink that you've got, don't go straight for the, the beaver move on there and trying to crack that thing open. You're not Stone Cold Steve Austin from the WWE cracking and breaking stuff with your teeth, okay? And you got fingers just for that good reason. But maybe in the end, she's gonna think twice about ruining her nails versus her teeth. Now, this next one is a new thing that's going on. Everybody knows about veneers, the Hollywood smile, all that type of stuff, but this is a new veneer I have never seen before. Let me know what you guys think about this one, because I'm not gonna lie, it's probably gonna be turning heads if you see it in real life. Oh my God, what are these veneers from Minecraft? That is actually insane. It's like the facets of a diamond on a veneer. Okay, what is it? Oh my gosh. What are those? Literally, what? I don't know what those are. I've never seen that. And you guys agree in the comments. Someone said, what the helly berry? What in the world? Waiting for the LED ones coming soon. I would love that. My teeth would light up. That would actually be pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I should get one, just one veneer, and it would just be like, people would be like, it'd be just enough to get people to be like, what is in your mouth? But yes, these are actual veneers, and I actually have seen a couple different labs offering these. And what they do is they basically just cut facets in the veneer to shine the light off and give it that diamond-like appearance. Now the question is, would you guys want this to be permanent? I really need to let me know down below. Do you think it should be one tooth, multiple tooths? Should it be different colors? I mean, well, you just go to a diamond at that point. Why, speaking of which, why has nobody made like a diamond version of it using like a CZ diamond or something like that? That would be sick. Now for these, more than likely, these are prep veneers, which means they would have to polish away the tooth structure, which is not my favorite to pop it on there. There are some different veneer types that are called no prep veneers that just go on the top, but something like this would make the tooth really bulky and probably look a little weird, but you never know. I mean, it's pretty cool. And from my guess from looking at it, it does look like it's ceramic, you know, veneer or whatever, you know, I mean, so it looks like it's gonna stay, and it's gonna be bling blinging forever, and it's gonna be permanent. Okay, and this next one I got tagged a ton in of you guys saying this girl has made the perfect homemade toothpaste. There's nothing better than this, Bentist. You gotta watch it and let us know if you think she's crazy or if you think she's onto something. So we're gonna go ahead and watch it, see what she makes it of, and then we're gonna see if it's good or not.
Haven't even brushed my teeth yet this morning, and I brush my teeth like once a day. My secret is I make my own toothpaste.
Okay, first off, brush twice a day, guys. 2 minutes each time. I know that you're skipping on the time. You're only doing 30 seconds. 2 minutes each time, twice a day. Let's get back.
You just need these 4 things right here. So you're gonna mix bentonite clay with some baking soda.
Okay.
And then add some hydrogen peroxide to it to get it all nice and liquidy. And then a few drops of peppermint essential oil.
Okay, so now that we've got the ingredients, it's time to discuss each one. So the peppermint oil, that's really easy. It's just adding peppermint flavor. Nothing there. Don't have any problems with that. Baking soda, actually really good at cleaning, and it is a low relative dent and abrasion limit, which means it's safe for your enamel. You can find these in Arm & Hammer toothpaste and other things like that, widely used in toothpaste that you have today. So far, so good. The next thing, hydrogen peroxide. You see that she has hydrogen peroxide there? This is the main ingredient in all whitening stuff. So this is actually a really good thing to use if you're trying to whiten your teeth. If you're using it in the liquid form like that and you're kind of making your own, do worry about black hairy tongue potentially, because if you use it too much, it can cause like bacterial strains to grow in different ways and cause that eventually. But overall, probably still not a bad idea. Now the last one is one that I don't know too quite about, which is the bentonite clay. I've heard about it, I've done some research on it in the past, and I remember it was just kind of like, it's one of those things like charcoal toothpaste. There's not a lot of research on it that shows anything good, but I am interested in figuring out what the RDA of bentonite clay is. So I'm going to take a look real quick and see bentonite clay RDA, which stands for relative dent and abrasion, which is how heavy it is as far as ripping the enamel off in a bad way. And it says right now, bentonite's clay RDA is generally considered low, making it as safe for daily use in oral care products. Now that being said, I mean, it does, you know, the relative dent and abrasion limit is, you know, they say you want to go up to 200, but 200 is really not good. That's way too high. It says that the relative dent and abrasion limit of bentonite clay is about 105, which is about some whitening toothpaste. Okay, so now that we know that bentonite clay, so the reason why I asked about bentonite clay is because a lot of the times people will use in toothpaste a very high abrasive to kind of polish off the stuff, and sometimes it can be really harsh. Like if you're using charcoal toothpaste, you can actually rip the enamel off of yourself, which is a bad idea, but nothing I see so far is bad. So let's go ahead and continue.
Do not mix with anything metal because this interacts with it. Do not use a metal spoon to mix.
Interacted with metal, that's cool.
Comes out looking like this. Super easy, super affordable, and it reverses cavities, allegedly.
I probably wouldn't say that it reverses cavities because, I mean, you really need some like a fluoride or hydroxyapatite.
Whiten the shit out of your teeth.
That is true, though. Hydrogen peroxide will whiten your teeth. As you can see, she's got some pretty white teeth. In fact, a lot of people just swish with the hydrogen peroxide and get really white teeth that way. And if you don't like any of that, you can also use a hydrogen peroxide whitening strip as well. I obviously like something nice is the best because it is the best on the market. But still, this would work as well. So overall, this girl actually did a really good job for once. I don't see anything too crazy that I disagree with. The only one thing is I don't think you really have that much added protection to help your tooth. You know, a fluoride strengthens the outer level of enamel to make it harder so that the cavities can't get through it, and like our nano hydroxyapatite zero toothpaste can remineralize because that's what your teeth are made of. There's nothing so far in hers that does any protection to the teeth, but it will whiten and it will do a decent job scrubbing pretty much. So I don't have anything against it, but I do think she should at least probably use either a nano hydroxyapatite or a fluoride toothpaste half the day, and then the other day she can use this to whiten. I think that would be a little bit safer for her. But overall, I give it an 8 out of 10. Now this next video is wild, and I'm not gonna lie, the first time I saw it, and you're gonna see it in a second, it actually blew my mind. And just so you know, maybe close your eyes if you don't like, you know, nasty teeth, because this girl has got some issues. You're gonna see, trust me.
You see that?
What the? You...
That is what is coming out of my teeth, my gums. Right there. Look at that shit. disgusting. See that?
Oh my God.
Right there?
Okay, right there, that is severe, what the, ooh, that right there is severe periodontal disease. And when you say, Bentist, I'm tired of you telling me to brush and floss twice a day. You've been telling me for every day for 5 years now to do this. This is why I'm telling you guys this. I mean, look at this. This is so quintessential, exactly the opposite of what you want going on. Now, that first off, that gunk at the beginning, I've never seen that before. I'm pretty sure that you just put a loogie on there and pretending something weird's going on. If you're getting weird discharge like that you need to go to the hospital right away, okay? Now, that being said, this girl has active gum disease, periodontal disease. She's got cavities. That black thing she had on her other side was a big carious lesion or a disease lesion. It's basically rotting the tooth away from the inside out. You know this girl's breath stinks. That being said, this is a really serious thing. Basically, most of these teeth that you're seeing, if you look right here in the bottom, the gum have resorbed all the way down where you can see the tooth's roots. You can see there's cavities. This is really bad and probably beyond the point of repair. You know, we can fix a cavity really early on if it's small. If it gets a little bit bigger, we can even fix it, do a root canal, things like that. But once the bone resolves so much that the teeth basically are just flapping in the wind, the only thing we can do at this point is pull all of her teeth and get her into implants and some dentures. And that's really sad because it looks like she's just kind of making a bunch of videos on this like over and over again, like kind of like showing it off to get views. And I'm not gonna lie, that's not cool, man, because you're ruining your mouth, your teeth. Once you lose your teeth, they're gone forever, and you're gonna regret every day you did not go into the dental office to get it fixed. So we're gonna go ahead and take this PSA to say, go ahead and get some good oral care products. Okay, there's a lot of crappy stuff out there, so maybe something nice would be the people for you. Obviously, it was the place that I created, this oral care company I created with the best products in mind to do everything the best, so you never have to end up looking like this, because this is absolutely crazy. Because realistically, all she would have needed was like our zero toothpaste, a toothbrush, maybe a water flosser or something, and she never would have had this happen. And it doesn't have to be something nice product. You can use any type of products you want to go ahead and clean your mouth, but please do it. I didn't do this stuff for 6 years, making videos every single day for you guys to let your teeth go the way of the dodo bird. You know what I'm saying? And actually, it's really unfortunate because even the comments kind of check it out. They're like, lashes and nails, check. Going to the dentist, nah. And actually, I see this all the time. I see people walking in with Louis Vuitton purses. They got their lashes done. They got a new iPhone. They're driving a BMW, and then they come in and their teeth look like that, and then they tell me they can't afford getting one cavity filling or something. I'm like, bro, you don't understand how bad it's gonna be if you lose all your teeth. It's really, really bad. So please invest in your health. Brush. Do better. Speaking of crazy teeth situations, you guys tagged me a ton in this lady who got some crazy pop-on veneers. You know, the little TV one that you see online. They're like, hey, just send us a little scan of your tooth real quick and then we're gonna make you veneers for $100. It's gonna be awesome. Well, this girl got them back and they weren't quite exactly what she thought they were gonna be. Let's check it out.
These things hurt.
Oh my gosh.
Down here.
Oh. See?
This hurts.
Okay, first off, right out of the gate, these pop-on veneers are very interesting. We see them all the time. You know, they're kind of that cheap TV, you know, they get them at late night. They're going to try and trick you into getting them. As you can see, they're very bulky. They're all attached. They just kind of sit over, like pop on top as a retainer. And she's talking about how they hurt a lot. And the reason why they're hurting more than likely is because they're pushing into her gum tissue, which is going to really pinch it and probably cause a lot of problems. Let's see. Continue further.
Look.
Yeah, did she take them out so you can see what they look like?
Hold on a second. Oh.
Oh, she can't even take them out.
These things hurt, and I can't even hardly talk.
Yeah.
And it's so big and bulky.
That's the next thing that I see all the time is big and bulky. And what does that cause? Well, it causes people to talk a little funky. They get lisps. They get lisps already when you got an Invisalign tray, you get a retainer in. Imagine when you have a big old bulky thing like that in there. You're gonna have a lot of speech problems when you're doing that.
Oh my God, this hurts. This is big and bulky, and look how I have to talk. This ain't how I talk. Yeah. Y'all give me my money back, please. This is gross.
I concur with you, Auntie, because I see the same thing all over. Because every time I see people try and go and get procedures or things done to cut costs or do whatever, they always end up back in the dental office saying that exact thing. Can I just get my money back and get it done the right way, please? Now, she's lucky because it only cost her a little bit of money. With people going to get veneers in Colombia and all that type of stuff, it can cost you a lot more. Speaking of costing you a lot more, we got a girl who actually is doing exactly that. You think these pop-on veneers were bad? Well, just wait until you see what she gone ahead and did to her own teeth. It's 2025, almost 26, 24, what year is it? I don't even know anymore, but are we still doing this? Because you're right, nothing prepares you for the moment that you go to a random country and you rip off all your tooth structure just to try and look good for your friends. This is the exact thing that I try and warn people about, because a veneer is supposed to be just a light shaving off the front, okay? And if you look at her teeth, they're basically nubs all the way around, and so basically they've just basically hollowed out every single tooth to put crowns on them. And what you get from that is you have a lot of areas of failure, okay? And that means that any one of these teeth, the margin could be loose, and then bacteria could make their way up into it, rot the tooth out from the inside out. And then also, not to mention, every 10 years this girl's gonna have to get her crowns redone. When one doesn't go bad, the other one goes bad. You gotta make sure they all match and get the exact same color, else it's gonna look weird. It is a ton of issues. And so this is why I tell you guys all the time my rules on this. If you like the shape of your teeth, get braces or Invisalign, okay? Get them all straightened if you like the shape of your teeth. If you absolutely hate the shape of your teeth, then you can potentially get some crowns and stuff if you need to. But even then, you shouldn't be crowning every single one of your tooth, because normally only one or two teeth will look weird. This is a disaster waiting to happen. I've been preaching for years for people not to do this, but still, every single month I get somebody who falls into the trap and goes into it. And guess what? I guarantee you in 5 years, she's gonna be regretting it, saying she wished she never would have done it. But enough of humans making mistakes. What if I told you that dogs, yeah, that's right, dogs actually can get braces treatment too. They're not the only ones. Check this video out. Oh, he's got the pink. When's the last time you saw a dog having braces? And as I can see in the comments, you guys are concerned. In fact, you were super concerned when you tagged me a ton of times in this, saying, cruelty to animals, that poor dog. This is just going too far. Well, to be fair, actually it's not, because braces and dogs are a real thing. And the fun fact is, just like humans have bite issues like under bites, over bites, open bites, dogs can have the same thing. Now, looking at this dog's bite, he has what we call an open bite, and here in the front. And for dogs, it's really tough if you're trying to chew and you're biting and tear, that you can't quite bite down on food, and they have hard times eating. Same with underbites. They can't quite tear and bite on those treats and stuff. And so it causes issues, and they end up losing weight because they can't eat. And so what do? They find an orthodontist, we go into braces, and we put the same brackets and wires that you would on your teeth on the dog, and it's normally quick. It's like a 4 to 6 month treatment or something like that. And we go ahead and we try and pull the teeth around and fix whatever bite issue it is to try and get the dog back into working order. Now, it doesn't have to be Hollywood smile perfect. I'm not like Justin Bieber over here smiling or anything like that. It's just to get the function of the bite good and get that dog into a better spot. So no, this is not animal cruelty at all. And in fact, it's probably animal benevolence, or the opposite of cruelty. It's good for the dog, okay? Because yeah, he may be sore for a little bit, but he's gonna be eating and being a lot healthier after this procedure is done. And I think pink honestly goes great with that. The dog's fur complements the pink great. Okay, this next one was a girl that messaged us and said they were super concerned about what was going on with their tongue.
Y'all know how I made that video about strep throat? Well,
Actually, I think something else is happening to me too.
Okay, so first thing, she said she has strep throat. So that's definitely a cue of something, because a lot of times we see, you know, that big white stuff back on the tonsil. So let's see what's going on.
because look at this.
Oh, it's on her lips. Oh, so it's a white speckly kind of plaque-like stuff on the lips and tongue. Now, strep throat is normally usually in the back of the throat. We're normally not seeing this. I think I know what this is, but I want to continue watching a little bit further, see if she gives me a little more info. Maybe she does. Oh yeah, I know exactly what that is. See the speckling on the tongue?
What the fuck? I feel like there's a big wall of like sandpaper on the back of my throat, and every single time I swallow, there's like food. Like, you know how you like occasionally like swallow saliva? Well, it feels like everything's swelled up, and then like a piece of food is slowly going down as I swallow, and then after I swallow, it just goes right back up.
That's thrush. That is 100% thrush, because what thrush is, it's actually a bacterial yeast infection. Yeah, that's right, a yeast infection. So it's not a viral or it's a yeast infection. So she's gonna need to go get an antibacterial or an antifungal, actually, I think is what it would be. It's almost like you have a, what's that thing, athlete's foot, on your mouth. That's kind of the same similar situation here. And so what you get is all those kind of white plat, and then, you know, it doesn't feel very good either. The actual bacteria that it is what we call Candida albicans, and it shows up as that white goopy-like substance that gets all over. Okay, Bentist, now that we know what it is, but what caused it? Well, a lot of times it's caused by a weakened immune system. So if she already had strep throat, she was already sick, her immune system was probably weakened, which allowed that yeast infection to kind of take over. It also happens more in people who smoke and people who breathe with their mouth. Make it really dry and easy for that yeast to grow. But that being said, it's not the end of the world for this girl. She just needs to go get her antifungal medication from a dentist or a doctor, and then she'll be just fine. All right, we've been through a lot this video, but there's still more. Yeah, that's right. You guys tagged me in this video from this guy. You said, this guy's got the ultimate Invisalign routine. You're gonna love it. Now, I have no idea what that means. We're gonna be blind reacting together. So it's either gonna be stupid, good, easy, awesome. I don't know in between, but we're gonna go ahead and find out together.
All I wanted was straight teeth.
Okay, hold. Why is he giving me crazy eyes? Okay, now I know I got the crazy eyebrows on lock. I do it all the time, but why is this man looking like that? He's just putting in Invisalign aligners. It's not that crazy. Jeez, calm down, fam. Why are you choking yourself? Okay, so obviously my man's a little weird. Okay, so he's got interesting. He's got buttons on the inside of the tooth to go, I'm assuming, up top, which is a very interesting one. That's not something you see very often. Yeah, not a fan of those little pick things. They don't work the great. Just use your fingers. Learn how to use your fingers. Or actually, our floss picks have those built into them. Interesting, if you've ever seen our braces floss picks, they have those built in. So he's going in from out. So that's interesting. So a rubber band that would go from the inside to the outside here is actually used to do a cross bite. So if you're here and you need to go here, then you actually put the rubber bands across, so then it'll actually pull it in the opposite directions. So I guess maybe he's really narrow here. They're trying to expand it or something, but even then, maybe that's like the opposite. Normally it would go the opposite if you wanted to expand it out. So that's an interesting one. I don't see that a lot in rubber band land. So maybe he's trying to pull them down. I don't know. My guy he's doing the most right now. I'm not gonna lie. Why you gotta keep making faces at me like that? And he's got it on the other side. The daily routine, he says. Just get it on there, dude. I like the tongue press. That actually works pretty good. And there you go, he's got it on the other side too. So my guess is those are just vertical attachments. And so what happens is, like, if you have like a triangle rubber band, we're trying to pull things together, that's probably what it is. And so the problem with aligners or the, you know, the Invisalign type thing is if you had up and down rubber bands, when you opened your mouth, it would just pull those trays right off. They would just pop right off. So they probably are putting them on the inside there to actually hook directly to the tooth so that it can pull it down without pulling up everything else from there. But I think I agree with some of the comments here. Someone said, that face card is saving you. That's brutal. Oh, that's mean. And then someone said, nurse, it's awake. The guy's a very interesting guy, okay? But I'm sure he's probably completely and totally normal. And if he keeps up with his Invisalign this well, he's gonna have an amazing smile at the end. You know what else would be amazing is if you liked and followed and subscribed to this channel, because we give you so much educational content every week of all the craziest videos around the world. So make sure you subscribe and don't miss one. And guess what? If you see these videos here, YouTube apparently thinks you're gonna like to watch them, so you may want to click on those and keep on learning. And also, brush your teeth, you nasty. I know you probably haven't brushed or flossed in at least a week and a half, so go ahead and get that done too. I'll see you guys next time.